today's class we will discuss about the main items of work. That means what are the items in the estimate. Okay. So remember that we are finding the estimation of buildings. That means here in this class we will discuss about different items in buildings. Okay. Not others. That means canals or roads or other things. Just we are considering the items in buildings. Okay. Whatever items in the building and what is the type of unit for that item. So these all we discuss in this class. So coming to the first item, so for any work before starting the we require to excavation. For any work before starting, we require the first one is excavation. That means we need to dig the soil for foundations. Okay, that means the first item will be earthwork in excavation for foundation trenches. Okay, we need to find the excavation quantity for foundation trenches. Okay, so as I said in the last class, the every estimate in our buildings, that means presently we deal with only type of foundation is what type of foundation? Wall foundation. Okay, that means we are considering the wall foundation. We need to excavate the earthwork for that wall foundation. That means for the entire length of the wall. Okay, so what will be the quantity for excavation? We consider the quantity for excavation as a cubic meter. Okay, and for finding the quantity, we require the length of the wall, complete length of the wall, and exact width of the foundation. Okay, whatever width of the foundation according to the sectional drawing, we need to excavate according to the dimension and the depth of foundation. The entire depth of foundation from the ground level. Okay, so that means we require length and depth of foundation at the same time exact width of the foundation. Okay, so this will be excavate at like vertical sides and the bottom level will be longitudinally and transversely. That means it will be leveled along the longitudinal direction at the same time transverse direction also. Okay, we require the leveled bottom. Okay, whatever bottom of the foundation is required, we need to excavate the earth up to the bottom of the foundation. Okay, so for this case we require drawing, sectional drawing, at the same time plan of the estimation. Okay, so and the quantity will be found in cubic meter using the dimensions of wall, that means total length of the wall, and multiplying with the width of the foundation. Okay, whatever foundation is given in the elevation drawing, that width we need to consider and the depth of the foundation. Okay, here we need to consider the total depth of the foundation from the ground level, not only depth of the first foundation. That means that may be a 2.2 meters or 0.3 meters. It exists, but we require the depth of foundation from the ground level to the bottom of the foundation. Okay, so the total depth is required for excavating the earth. Okay, so using these dimensions, that means length, width, and depth, we need to find the quantity of earthwork, that is in cubic meters. Okay, so that will be in cubic meters. So this is the example of a earthwork trench. Okay, so trench for casting the foundation. I am showing that a small example. Okay, so after that we require filling. So whenever excavation is completed and we need to cast the foundation and we require to construct the plinth walls, whatever walls are there below the superstructure, we need to complete it. After completing, what we require? We require earth filling. Okay, so the next item will be earthwork in filling. Okay, here this earth filling again will be in two parts. That means filling in foundation. Okay, whatever trenches are there, we need to fill the earth with earthwork in foundation. After that, filling in plinth level. Okay, so there will be two parts for filling of earthwork. One is in foundation trenches, and another one is, okay. So coming to the foundation trenches, so whatever earth is excavated initially, so that earth will be, we will use for the filling generally, okay. So after that we need to ram that earth. After ramming, whatever consolidated volume is required, we need to calculate the consolidated volume, okay. So, but considering the quantity of earth plinth filling maybe sand, that means in some cases foundation trench will be filled with earth and the plinth filling will, okay. If we require to fill with the sand, in such cases the plinth filling will be taken as a separately. If it is plinth filling also soil, we need to consider that one as total volume of earth in filling plus, that means foundation trenches plus plinth filling. Okay. If it is, we need to fill with the sand. Okay. That means in some cases fill with the sand in plinth, not in the foundation trenches. In the plinth level, we need to fill with the sand. In that case, we require to calculate the volume of the sand separately. Okay. In that case, we require to find it separately. So coming to the next one, plinth filling. Sorry. Volume first one is foundation filling. So coming to the foundation filling, so the volume will be calculated in cubic meter. Okay. So whatever earthwork, either excavation or filling, we need to find it in cubic meter. Okay. So if you consider the low rate of earth, okay, if you consider with the low rate of earth filling, we need to consider whatever quantity we got in earthwork, okay. In that earthwork excavation, we need to consider 1/5 of the volume. So that will be the earthwork filling in foundation. Okay, that means filling in foundation. Okay, have you understand? Whatever earthwork quantity we got in excavation, so using that quantity, we will find the earth filling in foundation. Okay, by multiplying with the 1/5 of the volume of the earthwork in X, okay, for low rate. Okay, so that means we consider just low rate. There will be filling will be loosely. Okay, if you consider high rate filling, okay, for considering the high rate, we require to calculate accurately. Okay, so that means accurately there will be given a formula. That means quantity of earthwork will be is equal to volume of work in excavation. Okay, that means whatever quantity we got in excavation minus volume of work in foundation. That means in the foundation we will cast PCC. Okay, at the same time foundation concrete and plinth walls or any other things will be done in trenches. Okay, so that volume will be, we need to exclude from that excavation volume. Then we will get that quantity of filling of earthwork in the, okay, that is the formula is saying. So the formula says already we got quantity, that means volume of earthwork. Okay, for filling we need to exclude the quantity whichever volume we have used in the foundation. That may be PCC or maybe plinth walls or maybe any other thing. That is saying the volume of work in foundation may be of brick soling. In some cases there may be a brick soling or concrete work, masonry work, any other works will be done in that foundation. We need to exclude that. Then we will get the quantity of earthwork for filling. Okay, I will show you the brick soling. So this one is the brick soling. Okay, why we laying brick soling will be discussed in the next slide. Don't worry. So brick soling means, so laying the bricks side by side as you shown in the picture. Okay, after laying that we need to, okay, after laying we need to fill with the either cement mortar, in some cases cement concrete. Okay, either with the cement mortar or with the cement concrete, we need to fill. Okay, so that is the brick soling. Okay, So coming to the next one, plinth filling. Okay. So plinth filling here also we need to calculate with the using quantity in cubic meter. Okay. The volume of plinth filling also calculated in cubic meter. Okay. So here we need to consider the length and width. So how we consider the length and width means the inner area of the room. Okay. Inner area of the room or inner portions from the offsets of the plinth wall. Okay. So I will show you a diagram. Then you will be. So this one is the diagram. Okay. We need to consider the length from here to here. So inner portion of the room and here to whatever plinth wall offset is there. Okay. So this one will be the plinth filling and the depth will be considered from the bottom of the flooring. Okay. From the bottom of the flooring to the ground level. Okay. From the bottom of the flooring to the ground level. That means whenever a building work is there, the plinth wall will be above the ground. Okay. So the filling we need to consider from the above the ground level to the bottom of the floor. Okay. So that is here saying. So this one is considering for the length and this one is the last point is considering for the depth. So as I said, the depth of filling is taken from the ground level up to the bottom of the floor structure. Okay. So that means after filling of earthwork, we need to cast a flooring. That may be PCC or any other flooring we will to cast. So whatever level is there for the bottom of that concreting or flooring from that point to the ground level of the existing structure. Okay. So that is we need to consider for the depth. Okay. So using this length, sorry, using this length and width and depth, we need to calculate the quantity of plinth filling. Okay. So then we will get the quantity of plinth. Okay. So that is about earthwork filling. Okay. So the next one is concrete in foundation. Okay. Again, concrete means you have already known about this. Any point of structure, that means any point, we require concrete in cubic meter. Okay. So that we will get cubic meter means it is simply length into width into thickness. Okay. So based on the type of item, that means the type of place, the thickness will be varies. Okay. So this dimension will be varies. So generally the thickness of the concrete will be considered from 20 centimeter to 45 centimeter. Okay. So in the foundation, so generally we use the lime concrete or any other weak cement concrete. The foundation concrete will be considered either maybe lime concrete or maybe weak cement concrete. Okay. So generally the ratios for this cement concrete will be varies from 1:4:8 or 1:5:10. So these type of mixed proportion we need to consider for the cement concrete in foundation. Okay. So the next one is soling. So that is about brick soling. So as I shown you in the previous picture, so the brick soling will be done when there is a soft clay. Okay. When there is a soft clay is there, we need to make a layer that is with the dry brick or stone masonry. Okay. Either dry brick or stone masonry. Okay. We will lay one layer below the foundation of the concrete. Okay. So that one is the brick. Okay. So generally the soling will be considered as a in square meter, not in cubic meter. Remember, brick soling will be considered in square meter, length into width of the portion, and just to specify the thickness. We will specify the thickness. We need not to consider for calculation. Just we are indicate the thickness. Okay. So that is about brick soling. So I'm replying. Sorry. Again I'm explaining. Brick soling means whenever there is a soft clay or soft soil is there, Okay, that means the soil will be in poor condition. Okay, weak soil. Okay, we will say that it is a weak soil is there. We need to lay one layer of brick soiling or stone masonry soiling. Okay, brick soiling or stone soiling. So as I shown in the picture, in the last picture, the bricks or maybe stones will be laid side by side. Okay, after laying, so then the gaps will be filled with the cement mortar or cement concrete. Okay, and the unit considered for the brick soiling is in square meters. Okay, so that is about soiling, brick soiling or stone soiling. The next one is dam proof course. Okay, so I think you have already known about dam proof course. It will be comes in BMC or concrete technology. Okay, so what is the purpose of dam proof course? So I will explain that. The purpose of dam proof course is preventing the moisture, entering of the moisture, okay, from the bottom of the foundation to the superstructure. Okay, so the dam proof course means preventing the entering of moisture from the foundation to the superstructure. Okay, for that case, we need to lay one rich cement layer. Okay, one thick rich cement concrete layer above the plinth beam. Okay, above the plinth beam or plinth wall. Okay, so that rich cement layer we call it as a dam proof course. Okay, so generally this one consider maybe cement mortar or maybe cement concrete. Whatever you can use either cement concrete or cement mortar. If you consider cement concrete, then it is 1:1.5:3. The proportion for the cement concrete is 1:1.5:3. Okay. The thickness is 2.5 centimeter. Okay. For if you consider the cement mortar, the proportion will be 1:2, and the thickness for 1:2 is 2 centimeter. Okay. Okay. Along this proportion, we need to mix a proofing material. Okay, to prevent damp proof course. Okay, so here we need to consider so just we not laid on doors or veranda openings. Why? Because there is no brickwork on the above the plinth wall of the door. It just there will be door exist. After that door there will be lintel masonry work is there. But coming from the foundation of the structure, there will be no continuation on the door. Okay, so that's why we need not to lay the DPC on sills of the doors or verandas. Okay, why? Because there will be no masonry work upon door portion and veranda portion. Okay, in the door portion, we are just placing the door. Okay, that will be the wooden door or any other door. That means there is no brickwork. Okay, along at the same time on the veranda portions also there will be no brickwork. Okay, if there is a brickwork on the plinth wall, then we need to lay a DPC. Okay, so I will show you the DPC. So this one is the DPC, this thick layer of cement concrete or cement mortar. We will call it as a DPC. Okay. So remember that here we will use the cement concrete. If you use the cement concrete, then the aggregate will be used as a 12 mm aggregate, small aggregate. Okay. So that is about DPC, dam proof course. Okay. So again, remember that dam proof course is in square meter. Okay. So whatever item we discussed from the starting of this class, remember the units for that particular item, what we consider in cubic meter or in square meter or running meter. Okay. So remember everything. Okay. So the next one is masonry. Okay. So coming to the masonry, there will be masonry in every portion. That means from the foundation to the from the superstructure. Okay. So masonry will be computed in cubic meter. Okay. That means length of the wall and height of the wall and width of the wall. Okay. Using these dimensions, we need to find the masonry in cubic meter. Okay. So generally, the masonry will be below the foundation. There will be brickwork will be occurred for the purpose of plinth wall. Okay, and above the foundation also there will be brickwork is there. That is for walls. Okay, completely masonry walls presented as okay. So that is also considered as a masonry. That means there is a brickwork in. Okay. Consider these two portions as a separately. Okay. So finally, we will calculate in total cubic meter, but we need to make a separate calculation masonry work in foundation and masonry work in superstructure. Okay. If there is a storied building, that means G plus 5, G plus like this storied building is there, we need to calculate this masonry work separately for every floor. Okay, that means plinth work, sorry, masonry work in ground floor, above floor, and first floor, and second floor, and third floor. Like this, how many stories are there? For every story, we need to calculate it separately. Okay, remember that if there is a story building is there, we need to calculate these quantities of masonry separately for every floor. Okay. So generally the walls are made as a solids. That means we are considering in cubic meter. That means the wall is considering as a solid. That means there will be some deductions also occurs. Okay. That means there is no masonry portion wherever the door exists or windows exist or any other maybe lintels or maybe sunshades or any case is there. There will be no brickwork at that portions. Okay, that means that portions we call it as a deduction. Okay, whatever portion which are we are neglecting for the masonry work, that we call it as a deduction. Okay, that means in a masonry work, first of all we need to calculate the total quantity of masonry along the total plan. After that, we need to deduct the whatever quantity excluding at the doors, windows, or any other portions. Okay, again we need to calculate the quantity of the portions of doors, windows, or any other things, and whatever quantity of deduction quantity we got, that quantity we need to exclude from the total quantity of the masonry. Okay, so this is a very important consideration in masonry work. Okay, so there will be masonry work means different types of masonry. That means different types of bricks are there, different types of clauses. That means brick wall will be different brick walls. As you know that English bond, Flemish bond, like this different types of there. If there is different classes, we need to calculate for every class separate quantity. Okay. For different types of classes are there, for different types of mortar is applying. For every portion of different portion is there, we need to calculate it separately. Okay. So arch masonry work is there. That means if the masonry work in like a portion of arch, okay, I will show you the picture in the next slide. No problem. Okay. If there is a arch portion is there, that portion brickwork also calculate as a separately. Okay. So this one is important. If the brick wall is thin partition wall, okay, if the brick wall is thin partition wall. Here we need to consider that one as in square meter, not in cubic meter. Okay, if the wall is very thin, then we need to consider that wall is in square meter, not in cubic meters. Okay, so remember that. So another one is honeycomb brickwork. That means maybe we have seen in different types of buildings. In that buildings there will be honey walls, okay, honeycomb walls. Okay, there is a wall exists, but for the decoration purpose, in that wall there will be a honeycombs. Okay, there will be a honeycombs. Okay, so that type of wall we need to consider in square meter. Okay, and taking as it separately, separate quantity, and whatever the whole portion, okay, whatever whole portion is there, for that whole portion we need not to consider as a that whole as a deduction. Okay, we will not consider the whole portion as a deduction from that quantity. Okay, we need to include that whole also. Okay, that means there is no deduction for honeycomb in that wall. Okay, so remember that. So next one is the type of masonry, stone masonry. So this will consider same as a brick masonry. Okay, this will consider same as a brick masonry. The next type of item is arch masonry work. So as I said here, arch masonry work we need to calculate it separately. Okay, and the quantity for arch masonry also considering in cubic meter. Okay, so here we need to consider the calculation will be multiplying with the mean length of the arch and with the thickness of the arch and the width of the wall. Okay, I will show you. So this is the arch masonry portion. Okay, from here to here, this one is the arch masonry portion. So here from this point to this point, this is the mean length. Okay, this one is the mean length into thickness. Okay, thickness of the arch portion. That means here to here. Is my cursor is visible? Is my cursor is visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So from here, from this portion to this portion, this one is the thickness. Okay, so that is this mean length. This mean length into thickness into whatever thickness of the wall is there, we need to consider that one as the width of the wall. Okay, that is LM into T into width of the wall. That will be the quantity of arch masonry. Okay, LM into T into width of the wall. That will be considered as a quantity of arch masonry work. Okay, coming to the next one, lintels or openings. Okay, so maybe lintels are using RCC, that means reinforced cement concrete, or in some cases there will be RB, means reinforced brickwork. Okay, I will show you picture, no problem. And the RCC and RB item will come. I will show the picture, no problem. So here these quantities are calculated in cubic meter. Concrete means always we consider is in cubic meter. Okay. So generally length of the lintel will be equal to the span, clear span. That means the opening of the door. Whatever length of the opening of the door or window plus 2 bearings. Here I will show you the picture. Okay. So from here to here it is a clear span. Okay. So if you see in the previous picture, so this one is the clear span. S is the clear span here to here. Okay. So that one plus 2 bearings. These are the 2 bearings from here to here, here to here. Okay. So this clear span plus 2 bearings plus 2T. So that is the length of the lintel. Okay. In some cases, if the bearing dimension is not given, we need to consider this bearing as equal to the thickness of the lintel. Okay. From top to bottom, whatever thickness is there, that we consider as a bearing. If the bearing is not given, okay, so then the quantity will be the length of the lintel from here to here plus thickness of the lintel into width of the wall. That means whatever width of the wall is there, for the total width, we will cast a lintel. That means we need to consider width will be the width of the wall. Okay, so that is the quantity of lintel in cubic meter. Okay, so that is the quantity of lintel in cubic meter. Coming to the next type of item is reinforced cement concrete or reinforced brickwork. Okay, so concrete means we will consider it as a cubic meter. Okay, we will calculate it in cubic meter. Okay, so this concrete work will be occur several portions in a structure. That means the concrete portion will be works in foundations, columns, lintel, beams, and floor slabs, and roofs also. These every type of portion in a structure will be cast with the RCC or RB. Okay. So for that every portion we need to consider and we need to calculate the quantity. Okay. And the quantity, for finding this quantity, whatever dimensions, that means length or width or thickness, will be calculated accurately from the drawings of plans, elevations, and sections. Okay. Using the every detail of the drawing, we need to consider the dimension of this RCC or RB. Okay. So in RCC and RB, we are saying reinforcement. That means there will be a steel. Okay. There will be a reinforcement in this concrete, but we need not to deduct this reinforcement. Remember that. Okay. We need not to deduct this reinforcement. Whatever quantity of reinforcement in the cement concrete or reinforced brickwork, we need not to deduct that reinforcement. Volume of the reinforcement, we will not deduct from the quantity. Okay. So in some cases, if we require to find according to the estimate, in the estimate, it required to find this quantity of reinforcement, we will find it separately. Okay. Quantity of reinforcement will be calculated separately. So as I said, this is the reinforced brickwork. Okay. In some areas, the flooring or slab work will be done using like this type of reinforced brickwork. As you see, in the reinforcement portion of our reinforcement concrete, there are bricks are there. Okay. So bricks are containing with the reinforcement. Okay. Again, it was filling with the cement mortar or maybe cement concrete. Okay. So this type of one we call it as a reinforced brickwork. Okay. This type of portion we call it as a reinforced brickwork. So this reinforced cement concrete or reinforced brick may also be estimated inclusive of steel and centering and shuttering for the complete work if specified. And that means if in the estimate it is required to find the centering or shuttering, that means whatever contact surface with the concrete, okay, that we considered as a shuttering area or centering area. Okay, so this one we take it as in square meter. Okay, this centering and shuttering work we need to calculate, that will be considered in square meters. Okay, so that all comes with the whatever contact surface with the that will be considered as a centering and shuttering. Okay, so that is about reinforced. Sorry, that is about centering and shuttering. The next one is flooring and roofing. So here flooring and roofing is considered as two portions. First one is ground floor. Okay, flooring in ground floor. It is calculated in separately. Next one is first floor, second floor, third floor, etc. Okay, every floor we consider as a separately and roof. Okay, so there will be separate calculation for flooring in roof. Okay, there will be separate calculation for different floors, first floor or second floor, etc. And similarly, flooring on ground. So these are calculated separately. Okay. So generally for floor finishing, there will be use of cement concrete in some cases, or in some cases stonework, or in some cases marble work, or in some cases mosaic, etc. So like this, different types of floorings are there. Okay. So this we consider as a calculated in not here given square meters. Okay. So this flooring will be considered as in square meters. Okay. It will be obtained by multiplying the length with the width. Okay. So this length and width we consider by using the plans of internal dimension. Internal dimension of the rooms or any type of room is there. We need to consider the flooring will be internal wall. Okay. From the length and width of the internal portion of the walls. Okay. Using the dimension, we will find the square meter quantity of flooring. Okay. So both works of the base concrete and floor fencing are paid under one item. Okay. So that for a ground floor, okay, for a ground floor, there will be a base concrete will be occurred after filling the plinth level with earthwork. Okay. After completing filling with the earthwork, we will cast that floor will be concrete floor. On the concrete floor, we will lay a floor finishing. Okay. So these two items will be paid under one item. Okay. These two items will be paid under one item. Time is running out. I will quickly. If any doubts, please inform me. So the next one is first floor and second floor. Here again, we need to consider the dimensions separately from inner portions of the rooms. Okay. Whatever inner portions of the rooms, we need to consider that one as a separately. Okay. And the floor finishing is taken in square meter as I discussed in that, and 2.5 centimeter or 4 centimeter of cement concrete or marble. The thickness of the flooring will be 2.5 centimeter or 4 centimeter. Okay. So the type of flooring maybe it's easy, it's cement concrete or maybe marble or mosaic, etc. Okay. So coming to the roof, so you need to remember one thing. In the roof, we need to consider it as a cubic meter. Okay, so not in square meters. Okay, so that is the thickness of the flooring. That means the flooring, whatever flooring in the roof, that will be thickness varies from 7.5 centimeter to 12 centimeter. Okay, for this case, we need to consider this one as a cubic meter, or you need to mention square meter with the specified thickness. Okay, we need to mention with the square meter with whatever thickness. That means in between 7.5 to 12 centimeter, there will be a thickness of lime concrete terracing occurred on the floor roof. Okay, so that type of work will be indicated in square meters. Okay, by specifying the thickness. Here you need to specify the thickness of the flooring in your roof structure. Okay, remember that. So coming to the next one. So plastering and pointing. So I think you have already known about plastering. Usually the plastering is in maybe around the thickness of 12 mm. Okay, different types of plastings is there. Not only 12 mm, there will be different portions of plastings occurred. So maybe below 12 mm also occurred. I think if you consider it is aroundly 12 mm thick, okay, and it will be calculated in square meter. Okay, whatever plastering is there, the total will be calculated in square meters. Okay, so here we need to consider the dimensions of walls. Okay, from the inner face and outer face also. We need to consider the dimension of the walls in inner face and outer face. Why? Because we are plastering in inner face and outer face also. Okay, so we are plastering in walls. Okay, if we plastering in walls, there will be deductions. Okay, why? Because there will be openings in the walls. If there is a opening, there will be no plastering. Okay, that means we need to consider that deduction. Okay, for for considering that deduction, there will be some clauses. There will be 4 points. I will show you. First one, okay, there will be no deduction. Okay, if the beam is there, end of the beam, okay, that means there will be a projection of the beam. Okay, in your wall, there will be projection of a beam. That ends of beams or posts or rafters are there, we need not consider that deduction. Okay, we will not consider that reduction. Okay, and for small openings, coming to the second point, for small openings up to 0.5 square meters. Okay, if the opening is only below 0. Square meter, we need not to consider of deduction. Okay, at the same time, whatever soffit or sill or jump, I think I will show you the jump in next slide, no problem. Okay, remember the word jump, JAMB. Okay, I will explain in the next picture. There is a picture, no problem. Okay, for these jumps, soffits and sills are there, no addition. Okay, why? Because we are not considering the deduction of 0.5 square meter. This will comes under, okay, this will comes under this deduction. Okay, and the next one is if the opening is between 0.5 square meter to 3 square meter, then we will consider reduction for only one face. Okay, we will consider the deduction for one face, and another face will be taken into account by whatever jambs, soffits, and sills are there. Okay, whatever jambs, soffits, and sills are there, that will be taken in the second phase of deduction. Okay, we are not deducting the second phase. Okay, so that phase will be covered under the jambs, soffits, and sills, whatever portions are in that opening. Okay, so that is about third point. So coming to the fourth one, if the opening is more than 3 square meters, okay, so we will consider the both phases deductions, but we need to calculate the portions of jambs, soffits, and sills separately. Okay, we need to consider the jambs, soffits, and sills, whatever portions are there, we need to calculate it separately. Okay, and we need to add. We need to add these things. Okay, so that is about deductions in plastering. Like this, we need to consider the deductions of plastering. Coming to the pointing. So pointing of walls we also consider the square meters, and here whatever deductions in plastering, here also same deductions. Okay, we will consider same deductions, whatever reductions considered in plastering. Okay, so I think you have got a doubt for pointing. I will show you. If you see this picture, plastering, I think you have already known about plastering. Pointing means these gaps. Okay, whatever gaps are there, filling these gaps with cement mortar, we call it as a pointing. Okay, remember that when a brickwork is completed, there will be gap occurred in the brickwork. that gaps will be filled with that cement mortar. Okay, we will calling that type of work as a pointing.